Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live trading session with Mint Market. Today I'm a little bit late, unfortunately, because I was out for lunch with my grandparents, but will be sufficient for this price action today. And let me remind you at the very beginning that all being said and shown here is no investment advice, and you should not take any trade or investment decisions with real money based on what I'm saying and showing here, because you could potentially lose a lot of money. And all I'm doing here is I'm analyzing and giving you my opinion about the market, and I'm trying to find and execute trades here on a demo account. All right, so let's dive right into the market. We have still a pretty choppy price action today, in my opinion, and we have here a short-term market structure shift at the moment here. However, so far we took highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows, so I want to be careful today to not get chopped up in a consolidation profile. We had news already at 8:30 New York time, and yeah, we're looking at the S&P here, and we have 12 night midnight price. We're above that. We have the 8:30 opening price, and we have liquidity here and here for the upside potentially, and we have liquidity here and here to the downside. You can see that we have taken out the liquidity here, swing highs here and here, and have moved up since, and we have also have a market structure shift here. So here we have a short-term market structure shift for a potential long, not saying that we're going long. As a reminder, on the weekly and on the daily, price action is long-term bullish. We had a setback yesterday, but I'm not trying to pick a top here. We might go further, we might have a little retracement, but still go further. And we took out lows yesterday. We have traded to the mean threshold of this 4-hour wick here and have moved up since. So what I'm trying to figure out in this consolidation still is if we are more likely to go up or more likely to go down. At the moment it's hard price action for me. I don't have a very strong opinion about either sides. Potential draw to the downside can be the weekly opening gap from Sunday 7th as a target, and on the upside we have this week's opening gap and further upside potential as on the higher time frame chart. So what I'm trying to figure out if this could be a sustained bullish move up, or if we just consolidate here, taking highs and lows, or eventually even drop a little bit lower. We have election year, which is usually shown in bullish stock prices, so let me remind you about that. And let's see if we get anything out of this move. We have we closed above. We have fair value gap here. We have 5-minute fair value gap here, so that could be bullish trade entry if price retraces into these fair value gaps. If it would, we also have fair value gap here. That's too deep for my liking. So for a bullish continuation, I don't necessarily want price to retrace that deep into this fair value gap. Could very well be. So far, no trade entry, and I'm also very careful about taking a trade entry at that point. So what's the narrative for today? Midnight opening price here. So we were pretty much at the opening price. We have, in the morning, we went up, down again, took out the low here, took out the high here, back. Now we took another high here. So not real a clear indication what it wants to do. And I have to form my opinion still if the risk is worth taking a trade or not today. I hope that I don't have tone issues today. I hope that it's working fine. Yesterday I had some annoying voice in the background. I hope that this is fine today. So let me figure out what would be in favor of a long. In favor of a long here would be that we have taken out the 8 o'clock low here and the 7:15 low here. We moved up since we have taken a market structure shift here. So what my model would allow me is to wait for retracement into a fair value gap. We have a fair value gap here, a 5-minute, a 5-minute here. We have no fair value gap on the 15-minute. We have a fair value gap here on the 3-minute. And that's basically it. To be honest, I'm not sure if I want to take a trade here still. And what's speaking against that is that we are above the 8:30 price and the 12 midnight price. That means we are already in a premium, and in a perfect world I would like to buy, if I'm taking a long, I would like to buy at or below the 12 midnight price and the 8:30 opening price New York time. What we could check as well, I'm trying to trade this demo account with $100,000 starting balance. Yesterday I tried to make a trade with a very low risk because it was very high risk conditions. So we have a small loss here, no problem. And what I wanted to do is to check out our opening range gap here. So we closed here at Wednesday yesterday, and we opened today here at 9:30 today, and I'm drawing that out, and this is our opening range gap. So this works for me as kind of support and resistance. So we went to the We opened here, 930. We went to the approximately the midpoint and went higher since. So if this is not a consolidation and if this is in fact a bullish day, we could look for a trade entry here. In this 3-minute fair value gap, for example. So that here would have been a trade entry. However, I'm not really convinced that this is a very good trade today. Might go well, and we're also not in a real, if you take the price swing from here to here, we took out the low, we took out a high, but the discount below 50% would be here. So here would be a very aggressive entry already at this fair value gap here. So I think I'm passing on that for now, even though that would be a legit entry. The stop, where would the stop need to be? The stop would need to be, if I would have taken an entry here, it would need to be here at 5,650. That would be 6 pip stop loss. That's okay. And minimum target would be here, 7.5 pips. So that's actually a valid trade idea. I'm not really convinced as of now that I want to take it. Now it's too late anyways. For now it rallies. So what I'm explaining here in theory would be long here, target here, 7.5, and a stop would have needed to be here. So that's for me a potential traded idea with a 1.25 risk reward ratio. However, the price action so far has been not very, I mean, look at that, not very convincing that we have a strong directional move today. Let's check out NQ, maybe that gives us some more insight. Also, NQ seems to be kept in a range. High, low, high taking out, low taking out in the middle of the range. So that's not very convincing either. Looks like we are in consolidation here as well. And maybe the dollar index can give us some insight. Dollar index is actually moving up. Okay. So we have a retracement. So dollar looks short-term bullish. That would mean bearish S&P. That's another reason why it's probably better to stay out of the trade, because if dollar goes up, I would S&P expect to go down, and my potential trade setup here is bullish. So, and we have also taken out the high here, we have traded into a fair value gap. So we have to be careful about the long here. Sometimes it's better to stay out and protect capital. We'll see about that. Let me just check the volume. I want to avoid that I don't have such annoying voice in my video again today. Looks good so far. Looks like all right, and here we go. Here we have already the retracement, so this would be a potential entry as well here. However, I think I'm happy with staying out for the moment. It's better to preserve capital, and it's more important to know when not to trade than when to trade. So we have a market structure shift here, bearish now. So we have a high, low, higher high. So once we would trade above here, the red line here, into a fair value gap, that's a potential short entry for a scalp. Not for a long-term trade, not for a day trade, hold until close, just for a little scalp. In my opinion, we could take out this low here, maybe go into this opening range gap. High here now, we have traded into this fair value gap here now. So let's see what we get. I'm not trusting the conditions. I'm not trusting them. I really don't feel like taking a trade at the moment. It could be a long. With the higher time frame in the back, breaking market structure, retracing to a discount here and then go higher. It could also be consolidation, market structure shift, going lower here, taking out some lows, or just staying in the range, going into this fair value gap here. It's just, I don't have a strong opinion about either. For the buy side, we would have 5664 as a potential target in my opinion. And for the sell side, we would have 5643. And remember that in today's session, we have now taken out two recent highs. We have taken out the lows here, and we have taken out the high here and the high here. And I have not a strong opinion which side is to favor. Pretty tough conditions the whole week. I had one good trade. I saw one good trade this week according to my model. On Monday or Tuesday, I'm not sure, didn't take it in the PM session, but I saw it, and since then, for my liking, trash only in the morning and the PM session the whole week so far. Testing the chat window. Seems to work. It's funny because I can see the chats on YouTube, but I can't see them on my streaming platform. So that's a little bit weird. All right, guys, just give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. I have to get me some refreshment because it's so hot in Vienna right now. I can't tell you without air condition. Hard to stand here in my flat at the moment. And I'm pretty confident we won't miss. Good trade. So we are above, we are here, we're traded here, above this high into fair value gaps. I'm still not thinking that's a good short opportunity neither. I think it's a very good long opportunity. Trashy price action so far, and that's why I will take a minute and get me some refreshment. I'll be back in a second. Just a second. Thanks for waiting. Got myself a refreshment and I'm back. And we can see that we have rejected again here. Not a very nice price action. We traded into this fair value gap here. Rejected that, going lower since. However, that could be a potential short scalp. But the price action is as it is. Can't force it. That would be a potential scalp entry here. Above the 50% level. Taking out a high here. As mentioned before, market structure shift, retracement into a fair value gap above the low here, and selling off from here. Stop would have had to be above here, and that's a potential scalp of at least 6 pips. Not too bad. And now we took out the low here. We have this fair value gap here I mentioned. So that's actually a nice scalp here, but in a very difficult market environment. I was not confident enough to take it. I mentioned it, I outlined it for you, but I didn't have the confidence to take it. And I'm glad I didn't take the long. We see the consolidation mode here, and we see the chip chop. We're back into the opening range gap. We traded through this fair value gap here, and as I mentioned, potential sell side liquidity here and here. That's what we see so far. Sell side liquidity taken here. $15-minute low taken here. Another low here. And also why I'm not so keen about shorts here is if I have a higher time frame market structure that's bullish, that is bullish like this, I don't really want to pick a top here. You can still find some good short setups and scalps, but I prefer to be in line with the higher time frame. I think I feel better with the trade. So as long as I'm bullish on the higher time frame, which I am, I prefer to take long setups. But as you can see, there is some short entries as well, which are good enough. But we can see maybe after taking out some sell side liquidity here, maybe we can get some bullish scalp entry later on. Let's see what we get. Let's see what the NQ is doing. Okay, NQ is dropping. NQ is showing some weakness here. Dollar index, yeah, also is not in line, going lower. So let's see. Oh, dropping like it's hot. Here we have the setup, the short setup in hindsight. High, low, high, fair value gap here above 50% and dropping. Minimum target here, 5,650. 8.5 handle run, and potential stop 3 pips. Oh, actually not a bad setup. And now we're dropping. Everybody who was chasing the long here gets punished. So now we took out the low here, almost took out the low here. So let's see if we get a little short-term market structure shift to the bullish side later. There might be a chance to find a bullish setup in a while, but let's see. I don't want to just long here turtle soup. What I want to do is I want to wait until we get confirmation, until we get a potential market structure shift after taking out the lows. Then and only then I would be confident to think about the long. So far, we're not trying to catch a falling knife. But we will see. And we took out yesterday's low already, or almost took out yesterday's low already. Still, I'm not 100% convinced that we see a big bearish down close candle for the whole day today. I think we might see a reversal. If this is a consolidation profile as I expected, we will see stop run, stop run, stop run. So we might see a retracement or reversal soon. Question is if we get the chance to enter something here or not. If it's a nice sound bullish entry or not. Or if it just drops lower or reverses right away without giving us an entry chance. So far it's going lower. Let's see what's happened at 450. dropping, dropping, dropping. Okay, drops pretty significantly, and let's see what the potential downside targets are. We have liquidity here, which is taken now, here. We have this wick here, and potential target, as I mentioned, is here. The new week opening gap at 4,615, thereabouts. Nothing to do here right now, in my opinion. Perfect entry would, of course, have been here. And now we need to wait. There's also the long would be justified because the short would be justified also because we would have been above the midnight opening price and the 8:30 opening price. We would have taken out some highs. So actually, in hindsight, nice short if one would have anticipated the short bias today. For me, yeah, was not a very strong bearish bias. Let's see. I'm curious to see what the 450 macro brings us. So what I'm waiting for, not sure if we get it, but what I'm waiting for is some reversal here. I don't think we will have a big down close day today. Might be, but we might also take out the Friday's low and go to this new week opening gap. Then I'm wrong. But what I'm potentially looking at is a bullish market structure shift here. So we have taken out all close lows here. And what I would like to see at this in the next 15 minutes, preferably, in the next 5 minutes, preferably, is a bullish market structure shift on the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes time frame, because I think we could go back up into this new day opening range gap, which I marked here with the purple shaded but we have to see because we could just go lower from here as well. We have a swing here, 50% fair value gap, so we have to see if it stays weak or shows signs to reverse. I will not chase it for a short here, so I will definitely not take a short here. I might take a long if it gives me a long opportunity. But that's trading, I guess, waiting for setups. And also staying out sometimes. So far it looks like we're just going lower. Yeah, we have this low here, Friday 12th low here at this new week opening gap here. So I think they are a potential factor as short targets. Two minutes until the macro begins. So if we break this swing high here, I'm looking if we get the impulsive expansion to the upside with a fair value gap, I would be looking for a long here. Okay, we have a market structure shift, potential market structure shift soon. So we broke this 1, 2, 3 swing high here. So interesting to see. If we make a potential fair value gap here, maybe come back into it for a long entry. That's what I would be interesting to see. Haven't made it though. Okay, no fair value gap so far. And looks like the setup is gone. No fair value gap left on the 1 minute. Immediate rebalance here. No fair value gap here. So it's a little bit disappointing. However, we have a potential inversion fair value gap here. So I might enter a trade once we get into this fair value gap here. We touched it, and I'm entering here, and my stop will be below here. My take profit will be here. So what I'm trying to measure now is the potential take profit. And my potential take profit is here. So 1, 2 standard deviation, 1.5. Yeah, that's good. So I entered on this fair value, on this inversion fair value gap. We had a fair value gap to the downside, traded through it, so this should act as support here, and we should see higher prices now. And we could, and my first target is the mean threshold, so basically the mean threshold of this pink shaded area. Now we have taken out the high here, so we should not come back here. It didn't give me the entry I wanted to, unfortunately. Not exactly the entry I wanted to, but sometimes you have to be flexible. And what I want to do here now is I want to put the stop, minimize the risk. After we took out this high here, it should not come back down below this candle here. It should not come back below here and take my stop. Otherwise, it's probably not good. So minimize the risk here. And we are almost at the target. Let's see how many pips that is. That's about 5 pips as of now. we have a high, we have a 2-minute setup as well actually. High, low, we broke that. So we have actually a high here as well, a fair value gap here as well. So we could actually come back here and go into this fair value gap as well. I will take another entry here. I will adjust the stop to just below here. We have two fair value gaps here, this one and this one. And it might go to the second one as well. Let's mark it here for a retracement. I don't want to get stopped out with a retracement into this fair value gap here. So my stop is just below that. And the second partial entry was here at this fair value gap here. And we have a high, a low, so I'm expecting higher prices now. And we will see what we get. Entry was about here. Stop needs to be, stop would need to be here, could be here as well. I will take another entry here and I will put the stop below here. So now we have a 1-1 risk to reward trade. And if I'm correct about my assumption, that should be working out fine. I've taken out low here, not. Fair value gap here, 1 minute. if I'm correct, we should see higher prices from here. About 7 pips risk. And we have potential reward of 8 risk. 8 pips, so that's at least 1-1. Let's see what we get there. Let's check out the NQ. The NQ has a market structure shift as well. A short-term market structure shift as well. Let's see. What I want to see is a strong reaction to the upside now. What I don't want to see is this fair value gap being broken here. We will see. I think we should see a strong reaction to the upside now. This 2-minute fair value gap should hold price in a perfect world. But as we know, the world is not quite perfect. Okay, that's not what I want to see here. That's not what I want to see here. That's really not what I want to see here. Not good. No, that's not good. All right, that's not good. That's really not good. That will be a stop out. I wanted to see reaction right from here. We're not getting that, and we are out. All right, that is a loss. So this was not a reversal so far. It seems like it was just a retracement from the new week opening gap, and price still weak, seems to draw further down. And that's why we have a loss. Not the perfect start to our trading account. 3 partials, but not a big deal, 1% risk. And we are down about 2,000 on the just new started account. We will try to trade that up again. That's how it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I wanted to see a reaction from this fair value gap. As soon as this was broken, I knew that's likely going to be a stop out. However, life goes on. All right, with that I'm closing. My deal did not pan out. Looks like we are in a sell model. We are going lower here. And next draw is likely this low here, Friday the 12th. And I think we are most likely going down to 5, 6, 15. That's probably the next draw on liquidity here. So we had a reversal here, but not a sustained move, unfortunately. We had a market structure shift here, but then it reversed because the higher time frame bias obviously seems to be bearish. Just the wrong bias for today. That's why the trade did not pan out. Otherwise, we could have seen a run higher here. Took out liquidity, but didn't go high after. What I liked about the trade, that it was in line, that it was bullish. A bullish trade at the end was in line with the overall higher time frame. But today looks like I caught the wrong daily bias. So we're in fact going down lower, at least for now. And yeah, that's why it didn't work out. However, we will be most likely back tomorrow trying to hunt for new setups and turn this back into a winner, hopefully. I think that's it for today. I hope you liked the live stream, and yeah, would be cool if you stop by tomorrow again. See you tomorrow then. And before we close, here our sell side target, our potential sell side target I mentioned hit. However, unfortunately, with the wrong outcome of our trade. What we can learn from today is probably we had a move, we took out liquidity, we retraced back into the opening range gap here, into a fair value gap here. No setup on the 15 minutes really. We have a high, a low, a higher high, so that's a breaker here, but no real setup here. We have a fair value gap here, so that's actually a potential setup here, potential short setup, which I did not see and didn't favor. Then we have a 3-minute fair value gap here, another possible trade entry for a short in hindsight after. And I saw this market structure here and was more thinking about the consolidation and reversal setup here. All right, that's it for now. See you. I hope you liked it. See you tomorrow, hopefully for another live stream, and we'll be back.